Okay, week 6 in television criticism. The show I elected to watch was Law and Order SVU. I think the subject or the theme was Man Down. It's about a kid who had such a awful relationship within his family, with his father just kind of ruling everybody, that he ultimately went and shot the kids in his class, kind of like a Columbine kind of thing. They're kind of referencing. So ultimately, so the kid, pled guilty, but ultimately they arrested his father for criminal negligence. And so that was the second half of the story. The father was actually on trial. Um, and in terms of the ethos, the pathos, and the logos, um, the prosecutor, he definitely had a lot of credibility, particularly if you watch his show, you would know that. In addition, just kind of judging by the way he looks, he's young, he's good looking, nice suit on. Um, the person representing the defense was an older gentleman, not very attractive, overweight, not a lot of hair, and it was gray on the side. So, in terms of just looks, they were ultimately trying to take you in a certain direction. Definitely a lot of persuasion going on for sure. Um, the prosecutor definitely, he appealed to the emotions first, because he asked the father a bunch of questions, to kind of show, how more on the patriarch side that man is, by getting him to say certain things. And then they contrasted that with the testimony of his son, just kind of pulling him out of prison and just kind of referencing, all the things, the dad says what you have to do to be a man. So they definitely, so the prosecutor definitely appealed to the emotional side. And then for his closing argument, he appealed to their, just your rationale, what is it called? Yeah, the rational side for the logos. And just kind of, first he, like they do when they first stand up, they button their suits. And then he started talking about, what it's like to be a man and what men do. And, men grab asses and men talk about sex stories. And then he actually sat down on the desk to have additional conversation. So he was kind of appealing to rational and emotional even again. So ultimately, he got the decision that he wanted. And the attributable intentions, I think, by the producers were to condemn this man's way of kind of leading his family. That was pretty obvious, because the man was always mad. He was always mad, and everybody else was always nice. He was always irate. So, those kind of things definitely, we start to judge people when we see those types of things, regardless of, their emotion or their passion. We only see their anger. So there you go. Let's see. So next up is show, more important show from a show that you truly relate to, probably Blackish. And that being an African American man in a predominantly white corporation. So that's been pretty typical. I think they kind of overdo it though, because a lot of things that he encounters, that doesn't happen to me. But in terms of just kind of being that, very, very minority, particularly in the population and lack of diversity within a corporation, and also just trying to instill certain values within your kids, in your family, to help them properly prepare for the world that they're going to see outside of college. So I can definitely relate to that. Yeah, so those values find a very depopulated, along with a large fan base. I think I chose Chicago Fire. And basically, I just kind of went to their social media pages, and it was mostly depictions of them either having just performed some heroic gesture or in the process of doing that. So, Chicago Fire is definitely about heroism, and just kind of, like your firefighters, your American, they're heroes. So all of those things are all coming together. And, these guys, they really do anything wrong, although they have ups and downs like most of us do, but ultimately they prevail, and, the moral compass is reset to what it's supposed to be or what we perceive it to be. So I think that's about it. Thank you.